I'm in the 16 years of marriage now, and you know, marriage is not easy. Like I will always say, marriage is the only school, is the only certificate. Sorry, is the only certificate that you get, and then you go into marriage, and then you start learning. You start learning your partner, or you start studying your partner, or you start, you know, whatever thing. You can be in courtship for maybe 10, 15 years, and then when you get married, we have seen those cases so many times. And when you get married, within 2-3 years, it's no more working. So, but then I'm going to tell you guys the lessons I've learned in my 16 years of marriage. Maybe these lessons are going to help somebody. They are mine. I implemented them, and they have helped me so much. They have helped me, and they are still helping me. So I just said I should share my experience, or do I say experience, or my thoughts, or what I've learned in my 15 years of marriage, in my 16 years of marriage. 16 or 15, oh come on Tyree, 16 years of marriage. Yes. So guys, if it is your first time stumbling at Best Passion and Reality, please don't forget to don't forget to hit that subscribe button, and don't forget to also hit the notification bell. Whatever time I upload a new video, you are going to be able to be the first to be notified. And in this channel, I don't only do talk shows. I do also cooking, baking, healthy cooking, healthy baking. And I'm going to be giving you people more healthy recipes because I am now on a healthy living. So guys, if you are that person that is so bulky like me, so chubby, what do they say, chubby ladies? If you are also a chubby lady and you want to become a slim lady, or no, if you want to have a healthy living, just go down there and click that follow Best Passion and click the notification bell. So whenever I upload a new video, you'll be the first to be notified. And please don't also forget to don't forget to share, don't forget to like, and don't forget to leave your comment down below. This topic is a very how do I put this, a very important topic. There are people who have been married for more than 20 years. They can also share their experience with us. They can also tell us what they learned in the years of their marriage. It's helpful for us, the young people who are just getting married. We might implement it and it works for us, and we might implement it and it doesn't work for us. But then everybody has to look for his or her own way to go about this issue. Yes. So before I keep on talking, you know, I too like talk. I be mommy talk. So I've already given the first 10 lessons, and now I'm going to give the last 5 lessons. Yes, the last 5 lessons. One of the lessons I've learned in my 15 years of marriage is that my husband, yes, I say my husband, he is my best friend. Of course, he is my best friend. He's my intimate friend. We both are like helpers to each other. We are like helpers to each other. Yes, I'm married to a Westerner. I know that people are going to ask that, how can you be married to a Westerner, or you are married to a Westerner and you say you guys are best friends? Of course we are best friends, because I found a way to make him my best friend. I found a way to be open to him. I found a way to tell him things that concerns me, things that he wants to know about me, everything. Any problem I have, before I give my problem outside, before I tell a friend of mine, unfortunately, I don't have friends. What was that? Okay. Unfortunately, I don't have friends. So my husband is my best friend. I just have my family members that are my friends, my cousins, my sisters, my siblings. They are my friends. So they are my family members and they are my friends. So I don't have a best friend. I don't have a friend. So my husband is my best friend. It's my intimate friend, where we are like 2 intimate bodies. So Whatever decision we take them together. Whatever decision we make them together. There are times he will make decisions, and after making the decisions, he comes and consult me, and I will say, okay, you've made a decision already. I can't stop the decision now, but then we are just going to see how this decision is going to go about, and what will be the after effect of the decisions we make. So, like I said, the lesson I learned, all talking, is that my husband is my best friend. He's my friend. We both are best friend. I don't have a best friend outside. My husband is my best friend. So everything you want to know about me, you can ask my husband. Yes, I mean, you can ask my husband. If you ask my husband who is best friend, he will tell you more about me than you going and asking somebody outside. So that is one of the lessons I've learned in my 15 years of marriage, that I have to make my husband my best friend, my husband my intimate friend. Yes. And another lesson I've learned in my 15 years of marriage is that consultation. I mean consultation. When I talk of consultation, I mean in marriage, there is no winner and there is no loser. Yes, in a relationship, there is no winner and there is no loser. When we go into a relationship and we start putting on high heels, that is when there becomes problem in that relationship. But then I know there are exceptional cases, like I always say, there are exceptional cases where one person is really, really difficult to deal with. But then I think we both have to find a common ground to settle this problem, or to come about the issue we are having. Like I say, consultation is the only thing. It's the only thing I've learned, or the most important thing I've learned. And this one I learned it from my dad, because I remember while we were young and growing up, when there was an issue in our house, or when there's an issue in the house, and we have to take decisions, my dad will call us together and say, let's consult. He doesn't say, I have to decide on this, on that. He says, let's consult. So this one I learned it from my dad, and that is one of the things I have implemented in my marriage, and it's working very, 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 very well for me. Maybe you can try it. You might try it and it works for you. But I think consultation is one. When you are sick, you go to the doctor. You go to consult the doctor. You go and tell the doctor what you're going through, what you haven't. You don't go and impose on the doctor that I'm having this sickness and you have to write me this medicine. You go, you tell the doctor your problem, and the doctor give you some advices and tell you how you can go about it. If it's something that he has to give you a medication about it, he gives you a medication. If something that he has to tell you that you need a rest, he tells you need a rest. If it's something that he has to tell you you need a therapist to go and follow a therapist, he tells you to go and follow a therapist. So when you go and do consultation by the doctor, you go and tell the doctor what you're having. So that is what I've learned in my marriage, that we always have to consult. And it's not only about myself and my husband consulting. This one, we do it in a family, like with my kids also. We have this consultation period where when there is an issue, we'll sit on the table, and everybody brings up his ideas, because I'm surrounded with men, or I say boys. Yes, I'm surrounded with men, boys. Yeah. I have 2 boys and my husband, so I'm the only girl I'm the only woman or the only girl in the house. So when there's any problem, we call ourselves together, sit together and consult about it. We consult, and then we take decision. We take the decision together, and if it doesn't work, we both, or we all of us are into the mess of our decisions we took. If it works, then it's working for the betterment of all of us. So, and that's what I've learned in my 16 years of marriage. Yes, my 16 years of marriage, that consultation is very, very important, very, very important. And consultation goes hand in hand with communication. If you don't communicate, you can't consult. If you're in a house with your husband and you guys doesn't communicate, you can't consult. Of course, I've had situations in the house where I sit and take decisions alone, and then my husband only realizes it later, and he asks me, and we talk about it. So I'll just tell you that consultation is one of the important thing in marriage, and one of the lessons I've learned in my 16 years of marriage. Yes. Another thing I'll talk about is when I came into marriage, I was having some privacy and some, how do I say, privacy and secrecy. In marriage, they are not secrets. Yes, of course, they are not secrets. But when I came into marriage, like a young girl, like an African girl coming from Africa, we all know the notions we have here. We have back in Africa that in Europe, you come to Europe within a space of no time. You are going to make it big. You are going to have money. You are going to do so many things back home. So when I came to Europe, I was having this notion. So I was like being secretive. I was like, there are things I would do without telling my husband. I came, and I'm that type of a girl or a woman that doesn't sit, that doesn't depend on a man. No matter what you give me, I would like to fight for myself. I would like to have my own money. I don't sit and wait on you to do everything for me. So when I started working, or when I came and I started working, I used to go behind and do this African style where you go and I send money to my family, to my mother, but then I was doing it not knowing that my husband has realized it. He has realized it, but then he didn't say anything. He was just sitting quiet. And one day he called me and was like, B, I've realized that you always send money back at home. And I was like, how comes you realize it? Because when I do that, I go and hide the Western Union or the MoneyGram paper, the document somewhere. So maybe he found it without me knowing. And when he called my attention about it, I was like, yeah, I've been doing it. We coming from Africa, the situation that you have been in Africa. So I'm doing it to help my siblings, my mom, my dad, So he said, but what I'll tell you is, you don't have to hide things like that to me. You have to tell me, I know, I understand, I've been there, so I know the situation. So what I'll try to say, in marriage, they are not secrets. Of course, there are some secrets I have. Yes, there are things I do, I don't tell him. But then when the walls come to the walls, I'll just tell him. And if I'm caught, I'm that type of a person that if I'm caught in an act, I don't tell lies. In very rare cases will you see me tell. I don't tell lies. Lies is not part of me. This I learned it to my dad. I learned it from my dad, that you don't tell lies. Tell the truth, and the truth will set you free. Only the truth can set you free. Even if my husband found out I've been cheating on him and he asks me, I tell him, yes, I cheated because of this reason, or of that reason, or of that reason. I know it's not something good to do, but then if someday it happens, if someday it happens and he found out that I've been doing it, I will tell him the truth. Maybe at that time I was going through a certain situation that I could not handle it, and it all happens that way. So what I'm just trying to say is that in marriage they are not secrets. Of course, they are not secrets. Yes, you don't have to have secrets in marriage. You have to be open to your spouse, and this I've learned it. Yes, I would say before I did errors, but then when I realized myself, and I'm like, oh, you have been doing some mistakes, you have been doing some errors, so you have to stop this now, and you are into this marriage, and that is just it. And another lesson I have realized I've learned in my 15 years or 16 years of marriage is that divorce, you see this thing they call divorce, where today you just get married, and after, our young people today, they will just get married, and after 1, 2, 3 years, or after 6 months of marriage, oh, I'm filing in a divorce, I'm going out of this marriage. No. When I came into this marriage, I was like, okay. In my first few years, I was like, wow, maybe I might divorce this man someday. But as time goes on, I realized that divorce is not an option. Divorce is not going to be an option in this marriage, because I realized that if I have to divorce my husband and go out there and pick up some other man, maybe the same issues my husband, I've been having with my husband, and we didn't talk about it, the same issues I'm going to have with that other person. I don't know how that person is going to be. The person might be worse than my husband. So that just came in the back of my mind, that divorce is not an option to this marriage. So what I've learned in my marriage is that divorce is not an option. And if you are going into your marriage, I'm just advising, this is an advice to all the young people that intends to get married, or that are in a relationship, or that wants to get married. Please, this notion of divorce, let's take it out of our head. We should take this notion of divorce out of our head. You have to communicate with your spouse. You have to communicate with your partner. You have to communicate with your husband, your wife, and don't accumulate things. Don't accumulate. I've also learned not to accumulate. I don't sleep over issues. I don't sleep over issues. When I'm angry with my husband, I tell him there and there, and it's gone. I'm forgiving him, and that's it. And I move on. So I don't sleep over issues. I remember when I got married, and I think the first 4 years of marriage was actually difficult, because we are coming from two different continents, two different culture, everything is different, you know. And there was a day I really got so pissed off. I can't remember what really happened. And I called my mom. At that time, she was still living. May her soul rest in peace. She's of blessed memory. And I called her and I said, Mama, I don't tire this marriage too. She laughed and laughed and laughed. I said, Mama, no, I don't tire this white man. I not be noticing I saw white man married day. I don't tire this white man married. Yeah, I was just telling my mom, I'm tired of this marriage. I'm tired of this white man. I'm tired of this German man. I'm going to leave this marriage. I'm going to come back to Cameroon. If I'm not even coming to Cameroon, I'm going to leave this marriage. Or I say, I'll come to Cameroon, and if I come to Cameroon, this man is not going to see me again. And my mom laughed at me and said, do you know what? In this house where you live, there is no space for you. There is no space for you in this house again. And by the way, you know your husband has been to Cameroon. He has been right up to the village of your dad. He knows everywhere. So if you mean you can take a flight today and come to Cameroon, that you are angry and you are leaving your husband, just know the next day he too will take a flight, because he knows already. He knows the village. He knows right up to your dad's farm. So he will come to where your dad is and search for you. So just put it in your mind that divorce is not an option, Besem. Just stay in that marriage. Maybe, have you heard? Stay there. You have to talk to your husband. You have to communicate with your husband. And that is one of the things I've learned. I've really learned in my 16 years of marriage now. I've learned that divorce is not an option. There are times I got pissed off. There are times we have issues. There's no marriage that is perfect, actually. I'm not a marriage counselor. I'm just saying out of experience, there's no marriage that is perfect. There are times we get issues and I really get pissed off, but then we have to talk over it. We have to consult over it. We have to communicate over it, and then we look for a solution to the problem. So, like I said, one of the things I learned in marriage, in my 16 years of marriage, is that divorce is not an option. And when you have that in the back of your mind, that divorce is not an option, I tell you, your marriage is going to be a beautiful one. You're going to enjoy staying in your marriage. But then don't forget that every situation has an exceptional. There are exceptional cases. I won't advise somebody that's in a relationship where the husband is brutal, or where the husband is treating the person badly, where the husband is, where the husband is a beat or a cheat or a that, for you to stay in that marriage. No. Well, I'll say if he's a cheat, you can talk about it, and maybe there's something wrong. There's something that is falling somewhere, and you guys can handle it. But then when your husband start brutalizing you, or your wife start brutalizing you, that is when I say divorce becomes an option. And that is what I learned in my religion, the Baha'i religion. You don't beat a woman, you don't beat a man, you don't molest somebody, you don't molest a human being. So like the Baha'i religion will say, you have to look for a solution whenever there is a problem. If it means you people going apart for some time, you go apart for some time, and then you look for a solution to it, and you get the solution to it, and you might come back together. But then if you see that you've tried to settle the problem and it doesn't work, then divorce become an option. But then if you have it in the back of your mind that divorce is not an option to your marriage, then you are going to stay in that marriage without any problem. Yes, that was the 15 lessons I've learned in my 16 years of marriage. But then, like I said, there are so many lessons I've learned, and every day, every blessed day in my marriage, I keep on learning. And as my kids are growing, I keep on still learning, because there are mistakes I do, there are mistakes we do, and we have to talk about it. And one of the most important things, I don't miss up my prayers. What I've learned in my marriage is that God first. God first. I am not a Christian. Actually, I'm not a Christian. I'm a Baha'i. I'm a Baha'i by birth, and I believe very, very much in the Baha'i teachings. I believe very much in the Baha'i writing. So I don't miss my prayers. Whenever there is an issue in my house, I go down on my knees and pray to God and ask God for God to show me the right way to solve this issue and ask God for the right solution. So one of the things you have to do, or one of the things you have to put in front in your marriage, is always pray to God. I don't mean you're going to meet somebody to pray. You can pray together with your family, but then that moment where I sit alone in my room, at times I don't even sit in the room to pray. I go to my bathroom, because I know when I'm in the bathroom, my kids doesn't come there. That is the only place in my house that I have my peace. When I'm in the bathroom, I'm there alone. They don't come there. But then when I'm in the kitchen or in the room, they always come there. So when I want to have my peace, I want to have this communication with God, just me and God. I go to my bathroom, sit there, do my prayers, read my writings, and then come out of it. And God is going to show me a way how to solve the problem. So guys, those are the 15 lessons I've learned in my 16 years of marriage. I know it has taken a long time for me to bring up the last 5 points, but it's just that I've been so busy. But then I'm going to keep on making some more videos. I'm going to keep on telling you guys more realities about